Recently, I have realized that my capacity to love has been at its strongest when I was a child. I remember cherishing the endless differences in people that deserved love. I realize now, being surrounded by insatiable consumerism and superficial success, that my capability to appreciate and love the goodness in people has waned somewhat. I just listened to one of my favorite bands, which has been active on the scene for over 30 years, and they're still going strong. The lead singer is worshipped and the group's tours are anxiously awaited all over the world. The guys are old, imperfect, and carry quite a history on their backs, and that is part of their appeal, part of their creativity, something that allows us to connect over. In contrast to this comforting sentiment, let me talk about a trend that has prevailed in our entertainment industry. With the recent boost in social media, a lot of people, young and old, have taken their anger and frustration out into the cyberspace, and they tend to target people who are vulnerable, people who allow their, what we would call, flaws in our society to be observable to the public eye. For example, shaming a celebrity for having a wardrobe malfunction, or worse yet, shaming a teenage boy or girl for showing their acne and how it deformed their skin. Now, I could also target somebody's looks with my negativity and then chip away at their confidence with my petty insults and mockery. And then I could also justify my behavior with the right to free speech, but that would be a sham, because free speech was never made to protect somebody's vile intentions in the first place. With that said, for me, there was never a physical flaw in a kind and interesting person that could shatter my love for them. Old grannies who were the most caring and protective, hunched over old men who would tell the best stories and the funniest jokes, plainly clad class clowns who would make even the Monday morning a joy, my acne-sprinkled friends who would brighten the room with their wit and energy, lanky people who would bend down to my level, and tiny children who would stretch up to look into my eyes. Where were the flaws in these people? There were none. What are the flaws in the rest of us? There are none. None but in our comments. None but in the proverbial hate that became an everyday coping mechanism rather than the crippling, disturbing emotion that it is. Back to my favorite band. I can see how millions of people anxiously await their performances, waiting to see them on stage, to hear their music, to be able to discuss their music with friends. I can see how we all appreciate and even cherish their matured faces and their wrinkled skin, their bizarre onstage behavior, and their scantily clad look that would in any other circumstance be quite inappropriate. So how then do we seek to destroy and bash those of us who are also beautiful, also talented, also young in age or at heart, those with scars and cellulite and acne, those with balding spots and teeth gaps and big noses? Who said those were flaws? Who said that those were the things to pay attention to when those same people have so much to offer to the world? And who said that you can't handle being more profound and wise at your age or in your circumstance, to be able to see past those Hollywood plasticky archetypes? I see you, millions of people, appreciate others for how they look despite their flaws. So why can't we do the same with the people in our lives that surround us? Our classmates, our neighbors, the strangers that we come across. Media is the world that we created. It's made up. It's lopsided and flat. Real people don't fit in that flat world. Our differences are endless, just like our choices with how we're going to handle those differences and how we're going to welcome them.